سعد الدين الحريري رئيسا لمجلس الوزراء.
Good afternoon. You're watching the English newscast here on Future Television. I'm Linda Tamim, and these are today's top stories. A manhunt is underway for the attacker who killed dozens in a shooting rampage at Istanbul's Reyna nightclub. A Lebanese man is among those killed in the attack in Turkey. Several other Lebanese are wounded, while one remains missing. And revelers across the world mark the new year as spectacular fireworks are on display in many cities. A manhunt is underway for the attacker who killed dozens in a shooting rampage at an Istanbul nightclub. President Tayyip Erdogan said Turkey will fight till the end against all forms of attack by militant groups and their backers after a gunman killed at least 39 people in Istanbul's Reyna nightclub. Julian Satterwait reports.
A manhunt underway in Turkey. Police seeking the attacker who shot dead at least 39 people in an Istanbul nightclub in the early hours of Sunday morning. Officials say around 15 or 16 of the dead were foreigners, with many bodies still to be identified. A police officer and nightclub workers also among the dead. Some early reports claimed multiple gunmen were involved, one possibly disguised as Santa Claus. On Sunday morning, Turkey's interior minister said that wasn't right.
According to the information we received from the police, there was one gunman. There weren't multiple gunmen. He was wearing a coat and trousers. He went inside as he opened fire, and we were informed that he was wearing different clothes inside, and he tried to get out. Our police forces continue to assess this information.
Dışarıya çıkmaya çalışmış olduğuna yönelik bir bilgi var ama bu bilgilerin hem emniyet tarafından değerlendirilmesi devam ediyor.
The wounded being treated Sunday morning at Istanbul hospitals, several in critical condition. Local media say up to 600 people were inside the Reyna club at the time of the attack. Some jumped into the Bosphorus to escape and were rescued by police. The killings come after a terrible 12 months for Turkey. 2016 saw a failed coup attempt and a string of terror attacks. The new year is off to an equally grim start.
One Lebanese man was killed and several others were wounded in the attack in Turkey, while one woman remains missing. The family of 25-year-old Lies Wadini confirmed that the Lebanese national was dead. Several Lebanese nationals were among those wounded in the attack. Local LBCI television said the total number of Lebanese nationals hurt in the attack had risen to 13. The victims include Nidal Bsherawi, François Asmar, the daughter of MP Stéphane Douaihi, Bushra Douaihi, Nasser Bshara, and Melissa Papalordou. Rita Shami, the daughter of the famous Lebanese businessman Liaz Shami, was announced missing. MTV said approximately 100 people out of the 700 celebrating in the club had been Lebanese nationals. Lebanese senior officials have denounced the Istanbul attack and vowed to follow up on the conditions of Lebanese victims. President Michel Aoun said this attack highlights the importance of collaboration and coordination among all countries in facing terrorism, and emphasized that the root causes of terrorism must be faced. A statement issued by the Lebanese presidency says the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has coordinated with Turkish officials to provide hospital care for the Lebanese citizens. Prime Minister Saad Hariri decried the attacks and guaranteed to take necessary measures to ensure the safety of the wounded. We are in front of a new ring of terrorist activities plaguing countries and communities, Hariri said, adding he inquired about the conditions of the Lebanese nationals who had been present at the nightclub at the time of the attack. On behalf of the Lebanese government, Hariri expressed solidarity with the Turkish people and its government. He also expressed sympathy for the families of the victims of all nationalities. For his part, Foreign Minister Gibran Bassil and MP Nadim Jmayil also expressed their condolences for the Lebanese victims and others who had been hit in the attack. Stay tuned for some more news coming up right after the break. Welcome back. You're watching the English newscast. Armed men have attacked a prison in Bahrain where inmates convicted over anti-government protests are held. The men killed one policeman and allowed an unknown number of prisoners to escape. Security forces launched a manhunt for the attackers and those who escaped. The attack took place at Jo prison south of the capital, Manama. At least 23 people were killed and another 17 were injured after a fire ripped through a boat carrying tourists to islands north of the Indonesian capital, Jakarta. The boat, which was heading for the Thousand Islands, reportedly caught fire shortly after leaving Muara Angke port in North Jakarta early this morning due to a short circuit on a power generator on the boat. Altogether, 251 people had been on the boat, and 194 of those were brought to safety by rescue services. Survivors were treated at a hospital in Jakarta. Pope Francis celebrated the New Year conducting a solemn Mass in St. Peter's Basilica. The leader of the world's 1.2 billion Catholics urged for stronger family ties and for the need to combat loneliness by renewing physical rather than virtual contact. In a 90-minute ceremony amidst high security around the Vatican, the pontiff warned that our fragmented and divided culture was cauterizing our hearts. Later on Sunday, Pope Francis was due to recite the Angelus prayer from the window of the papal apartments overlooking St. Peter's Square. Today, we end our bulletin with the most breathtaking fireworks across the world marking 2017. Enjoy. This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a reminder of our top stories. A manhunt is underway for the attacker who killed dozens in a shooting rampage at Istanbul's Reyna nightclub. A Lebanese man is among those killed in the attack in Turkey. Several other Lebanese are wounded, while one remains missing. And revelers across the world mark the new year as spectacular fireworks are on display in many cities. Those are your top stories for this January 1st. I'm Linda Tamim and I wish everybody watching a Happy New Year.
سعد الدين الحريري رئيسا لمجلس الوزراء.